Update 3 on Tropical Storm Bertha, which is located east of the Bahamas, just shy of hurricane intensity with winds of 70 miles per hour and a pressure of around 998 millibars. Its position is 26.8 degrees north, 73.6 degrees west as of 2 p.m. UTC on August the 4th. The storm is expected to become a hurricane in the next 24 hours as it heads towards the north and then the northeast, curving out to sea. Probably won't be too much of a threat to the coast of the United States, but Canada, Atlantic Canada, may see some weather associated with the storm in around 5 days' time as it turns post-tropical. Bermuda probably won't have any effects from the storm, so really it's just Atlantic Canada that is under any threat whatsoever, and that isn't as a tropical storm either, but still could be some strong winds, heavy rains over there as well in around 5 days' time. But for now, the storm remains close to the Bahamas, leaving those islands. The only warnings in effect right now are hurricane warnings and tropical storm warnings for offshore waters over the Atlantic Ocean, in between the United States and Bermuda. Now that's the only thing going on at the moment. Hurricane warnings for those areas east of the areas around South Carolina, North Carolina and Virginia. So no warnings onshore, though the Bahamas may still be seeing a little bit of rain here and there as a result of the storm. Latest satellite imagery then, taking a look at the past 24 hours or so as the storm rapidly moved towards the northwest beyond the island of Hispaniola, Dominican Republic, and then moving out towards the Bahamas, and is now just curving towards the north, and most of the islands now have no real issue with the storm as it moves towards the north. You can see on that those last frames there, not too much going on in the islands at all. Sea surface temperatures around 28 to 30 degrees Celsius, so very conducive for further development in terms of sea surface temperatures. Those are likely to remain for around 2 or 3 days, or maybe a bit less than that. Around 2 days' time, sea surface temperatures will begin to drop off. Wind shear is remaining fairly low as well, some moderate amounts to its immediate east and towards the north over the United States, but as it is right now, low amounts of wind shear. Dry air is lingering towards its southeast and towards its northeast as well, but towards its direct east, some of the storm's outer bands are extending that far out as well. Looking at the intensity forecast from the computer models, most of them predict a hurricane, and this was before it reached 60 knots. As you can see here, it only indicates it as a 60 mile per hour storm. So I think we will see a hurricane out of this. It's quite likely now. Likely to move towards the north and then towards the northeast. The track forecast is fairly there's quite a lot of consensus on that. The only real question mark is whether it will make landfall on Newfoundland or not in 5 days' time. Wind shear is expected to rise sharply in around a day's time, but as it is, it remains low to moderate, and sea surface temperatures, as I said earlier, are going to drop off a cliff very rapidly in around 2 or 3 days' time as it moves towards the northeast beyond the effects of the Gulf Stream. Relative humidity is also remaining fairly moderate, around 60%, maybe up to 70% in some areas in the next 5 days. That's not going to be too much of an issue for the storm. But as I say, that all contributes to what we will probably see, which will be a hurricane in the next 24 hours. Category 2, not likely. Looking at the latest satellite imagery, you can see this floater imagery, how the storm has been moving towards the north. A bit of a closer look than what we saw earlier. And the infrared imagery as well, where we can see the storm moving towards the north. Most of the showers associated with the storm are to the east or southeast of the centre, meaning the Bahamas are not seeing too much effects from the storm. There are a few thunderstorms popping up over the northernmost islands and off the coast of Florida as well, but that's not really in association with the storm, at least not that much anyway. But no, not too much effects going on any land areas right now. Let's take a look around the world. As of August the 4th at 2 p.m. UTC, there's a lot going on right now. Genevieve is still going, would you believe it, as a tropical depression. Iselle is now a Category 4 hurricane in the eastern Pacific, and Julio formed overnight and is a tropical storm with 50 mile per hour winds. 45 mile per hour rather. And Halong is weakening quite significantly as well to the east of the Philippines. 46 tropical storms have formed so far this year worldwide. 19 of those have become Category 1 hurricanes or equivalent, and 12 of those became Category 3 storms, only 7 away from 2010, which is the lowest amount that we've seen in the last 26 years. So not too much to shout about if it does overtake that, but bearing in mind it's only early August and we're not too far away from that already, saying something. You can visit Force 13 on any of its 6 outlets. The website, force13.com, will keep you most up to date with all that's going on around the world tropics-wise. Of course, the video pages, YouTube and Daily Motion, with regular video updates. Just search Force 13 on those. As are the social pages, Facebook and Twitter. Just search Force 13 on those, at Force 13 on Twitter, and you can speak to me personally if you so wish, on Skype, at Fool13 there for tropical weather-related chat. And also, the Force 13's forum will be relaunching later today. You can visit it right now, though, at force13.com/forum and discuss and ask questions with fellow Storm trackers. The next update on Bertha will follow in 12 hours' time, 2 AM UTC on August the 5th. But that's all for now.